Hey guys, it's Deb with Deb's Cool Finds. It's been a little bit. I've been so busy. Anyway, welcome to my channel. So welcome back if you're one of my amazing subscribers. And I know if you are coming back, you're going, oh wait a minute, she's doing a Be My Passenger Drive with me. And yes, I am. So right now I'm stuck at a light turning green. So I'm hoping I make the green arrow, but it's a really long line. It's saying 35 minutes to get home. So, it is Friday afternoon. We get off at 3:30 on Friday. Yay! So I'm headed home. Well, actually, I'm headed to Walmart and then home. I'll tell you why. So this week has been like, what? So last Friday, right, I got promoted. So I found that out, or Thursday, Friday, whatever. Found that out on a phone call, and thank you to everybody who sent congratulations to me. It's greatly appreciated. It was awesome. And then, you know, my coworker, if you've been following, the one that's been training me and educating me and all this, she was doing it just for me, just to expand and to help me, you know, get more income, hopefully, and everything, so that I could build up to my retirement, you know, in the best way possible. And so she's been doing that for me, but she said she was hoping, she said she's known since last February that she wanted to go back home, but she couldn't let on yet. And so she was hoping that I would get promoted or something better would happen to me before then. But she said even if it hadn't, she was glad that she had been mentoring me and everything. So she's awesome. And I'll pay it forward as I can. But so anyway, yeah. So then she was very, very, very happy that this all happened. So I was excited. I've been waiting to hear like what my new responsibilities are, new things I'm going to be doing. And we had my new boss, who I love. It's a gentleman in Houston, and he's just so easygoing, but knows what he's doing, and he's, you know, he's firm when he needs to be, but he's also, you know, kind and considerate. So nice guy, a good sense of humor. Yeah, young guy. He just had his, I think, third baby or something. Anyway, I had that call yesterday. Was it yesterday? Day before? I'm so lost in my days. Anyway, we had that conversation finally, and so it was kind of cool though, because just like a previous call I had been on, it was like a construction call, and I was just kind of listening, and they were explaining, you know, what they do in that department and all these different things. And I got off the phone, and I was just so like impressed with myself, because I knew all about what they were talking about due to my coworker, who has been taking me with her on her job and just letting me shadow her and sit behind her and teaching me every chance she gets. And I was just so proud that I knew all the stuff they were talking about. And then I sent her a nice little email saying, you know, thank you so much for teaching me, and that I knew it all, and you know, onward. But so she knows that her efforts have definitely not gone unappreciated. You know, I mean, it's just, I'm so thrilled. So I wasn't sure I wanted to move up, but then I thought, you know, I'll take it a step at a time. We'll see how intense it gets and how well I do at it, and then I can decide if I want to move further up. It's just, I have that HOA experience in my brain. Like, I don't want to do this stuff, because that was so hard, but that was a whole different situation, and I have to get that into my thought process, like get that experience, push that aside, and just concentrate on the current experiences and everything. So, and don't, you know, stay, like I tell you all the time, right? Stay on the positive, girl. So school zones, don't know I'm talking, pretend I'm just talking to my passenger, but so, oh my goodness, it's so funny. Oh my goodness, I don't know if you could have saw that out. Go backwards and look out my window if you can, see if you see it. But it's a sign in somebody's yard, and I didn't get to see what it was for, because I'm in a school zone, so I'm trying to concentrate. But it said, you've been flocked. Get that right. FLOCKED. And there were just like 100 pink flamingos in their yard. So somebody did that for them. I wonder if it's a birthday or baby or something. But yeah, it's You've Been Flocked. I've heard of that and seen it on Facebook, but I never like saw it in person. So that was pretty cool. You know me, squirrel, right? Okay, that was my squirrel. Where was I? So yeah, I'm trying to stay in the positive in the moment. Concentrate on me, not on others in the office. There's a person there that I have to watch out for, and I just had a big fear of this person being able to impact negatively on my career progress. That's not so strange at my age. It's like, career, how many years do I have left? But anyway, but you know, I'm trying to get in that thought process of just concentrate on yourself, be as classy as you can, and you know, don't say too much. Just be quiet when people talk. Don't give them any ammunition, but listen and be polite, and you know, all that, and just concentrate on myself. So that's what I'm attempting to do, and I think I'm getting better at that. And I'm getting better at just being like, I'm just saying, instead of, you know, blabbering, which I can do. I don't know if you noticed, but I can talk. So, sarcastic. But anyway, no, that's about going good. And the call was great, and he was just, you know, saying so many nice things to me, and everything that he said I would be doing. There were like 8 different tasks or whatever, responsibilities. And children, you're walking not in the crosswalk. That's not very safe. And everything he'd say, I'd be like, I know what that, like he said an acronym, and he's like, that means, and I said, aren't those blah, 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 and he's like, yes, they are. Okay. You know, and he's like, we'd like you to learn how to do this, and I'm like, oh, I already did that, you know, with my coworker, and she just sat behind me while I did it for her on the computer so she could make sure I was doing it right. And he's like, oh, that's awesome. Okay, cool. And so it was really cool. So first of all, they don't traditionally ever do mid-year promotions. And this is mid-year because, our review time, I believe, is February. So yeah, it is mid-year. He said, but we needed you on our team. We needed you to, you know, have more responsibility. We knew you needed that because we don't want you to get bored and leave or anything. So we did it, and we got the president to say okay on it. He said it took us a while, and we convinced him, and everything's great. I'm like, oh my God, thank you so much, thank you so much. You know, I sent him an amazing thank you email and all that. Oh, there it ends. Okay, so then he said, well, here's another thing we do not do. So do not let this. Sorry, that's a phone call that I'm not going to take. That was a weird tone, wasn't it? But so he's like, don't tell anybody. So shh, don't tell anybody, guys. Yeah, I got more than a promotion. So I got that, right? So so awesome. So that's amazing. So he's like, you know, you probably won't get. We're gonna try, but you probably won't get another raise in February. This is like, you know, that for that, but which is cool because then I get all these extra months of it, right? But then I will be eligible for a bonus in February. So hallelujah to all this. You're in my way, no turn signal, nothing, but you're just sitting there. Wow, that's awesome. Okay, wow. No one knows what that car's doing. It's just sitting in the lane and not moving. Oh, then he makes a left turn behind me. Okay, cool. With no turn signal. Anywho, people. So yes, I was pleased with that. And yeah, because you know, I'm trying to get my finances in line. And speaking of which, so I knew in my heart that my car needed brakes. But Miss Procrastinator was like, yeah, I can wait. I'm going to wait till I have enough money. I'll wait. She waited too long. So the day before yesterday, the day before that, I got home from work and I slowed down in my subdivision, hit my brakes, and I'm like, what is that noise? Someone's making this horrible noise. yeah, well, the someone was this girl. And the something and the noise was my brakes grinding. Yeah. So then I knew, girl, you in trouble. I know enough about brakes to know I'm in big trouble. So I delicately drove to work the next day, tried to do some research on brakes and how much they cost and where to go. Waited another day, but I was driving very carefully, barely touching my brakes, staying behind, far behind people, the whole thing. And then I finally, yesterday, well, the day, beautiful dog sticking his whole head out the car window that passed me. How cute. Traffic, yay. So anyway, I found a place that I thought, okay, this is reasonable. And I thought I just need, so I don't know if you know about cars or brakes or anything. You probably know more than I do. But I know that there's brake pads, right, that you need to place when they wear down. If they wear down too much, then this big metal circle piece is behind that they touch. And then they'll start ripping that up, and that's called your rotor. And yeah. So I thought, well, sometimes they can do, I think they can only do it once on a rotor, but I know that they can machine it. So what happens is that brake pad makes it like bumps and divots and everything in your brakes. That's why my steering wheel shakes a little, because there's divots and stuff in the front, on the front rotors. But the noise was coming from the back, so I knew that was worse. Anyway, they can machine it and get rid of all those and make that rotor flat again, and then you'll get a little more time out of the rotor. But they can't do it too much because it has to be a certain depth to it. If they machine it, sand it almost down too low, then it doesn't work. So I went into this place, and I walk in. I get there early in the morning. I got there like 8:15, like the second person or first person there, whatever. And I come in and I say to the guy, hey, I called you, and it's like, you let 4 cars in front of you, 5 cars in front of you, baby. I got to get home. We do the zipper 1, 1, 1, 1, not 5, then 1. Sorry. Anywho, do the zipper. Okay, so when I called, they had said, if you get the premium package, which is a year's warranty on the brake, or no, lifetime warranty on brake pads, and you get the heavy duty ceramic brake pads, and they will machine your rotors, and it was like $219. And I thought, okay, I guess I can do that. I just sold my bed for what I sell it for, $360. I'm like, okay, I can. You always want that extra cash for fun things, but I'm like, okay, it'd be fun to keep living, so I guess I'll fix my brakes. But, so like I call and he's like, yeah, that's our price. I'm like, okay, cool. So he's like, well, bring your car in, just sit down, and I'll come back out with an estimate. I'm like, okay. So he goes and takes it all apart, and then he comes in and he's like, ma'am, can you come with me? And I'm like, dun, 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 right, in my head. So he takes me out there, and he's like, yeah. So he shows me the front, and he's like, your rotors are bad. They're too bad to be machined. We have to replace them. I'm like, oh, God. And he goes, and then there's the back ones. I'm like, yeah. And he goes, well, your back rotor is metal to metal. And I'm like, oh, lovely. And it was like, I don't know, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch groove that was dug out of it all the way around it. It was bad. Even I could tell it was bad. I'm not a mechanic. So I'm like, great, what's this gonna cost? He's like, well, just go back, I'll get you. And then another guy came in while I'm waiting for that, and it's so funny because he comes in, he's like, yes, sir, how can I help you? And he's like, well, my brakes are grinding. I'm like, oh my gosh, you too? I kind of felt a little better, like I wasn't the only goofball. So he's like, yeah, brakes are grinding, I need new brake pads. The guy's like, okay. So the guy comes back in with my estimate, and me and this guy are talking, the gentleman is talking, customer, but then the employee comes in and he's like, well, ma'am, we're going to replace both of your rotors, and we're going to replace your brake pads, and we're going to do a brake flush, and so your total today will be $1,000. And I was like, what? I said, how do we go from $219, so even if you double that for front and back, that'd be $400 and something, to $1,000. $1,000. And I just said to him, nope, can't do it, sorry. And he's like, well, let me see what I can do for you. And you know, he goes and talks to the guy, and he came down like $100 or something. I'm like, nope, I'm sorry, just put the tires back on. My dad, you know, had a mechanic somewhere. I think he can help with this. I'm gonna have to find out. I gotta go. And I was just like, almost in tears, like $1,000. And the guy sitting next to me was like, oh my gosh, $1,000. He's like, oh, I'm scared. I got a big old truck. What's that gonna cost me? It's like, oh, you're making me so nervous. I was just like, okay, dude. So, so the guy goes back, and then he comes back in, and he's like, ma'am, really, you gotta let me know like your budget or something, because here, let me tell you the situation. It says your front brakes are bad and your rotors are bad, but you can get by with a little more on them, and I feel okay with that. He's like, but your back one is metal to metal, and he's like, what can happen now is you can be driving and your brakes cannot work, or they can seize up when you touch them. So if you're driving and your brakes seize, your car's out of control, right? It's just and he's like, and then it's a huge repair, and I just don't feel safe with you driving your car. And I was like, well, I'm sorry, I can't. It was like $500 something. I'm like, I can't. I can't. And then he goes back and he comes back with a few more dollars off of it, right? And then I was like, getting emotional, and I'm like, I'm sorry, you don't understand. This isn't me saying I don't want to spend that money. This is me saying I've been employed for a long time. I finally got to work. My finances are so screwed up. I can't pay that. It was embarrassing, but I'm like, I'm sorry, and that's how it is. So he's like, I so understand. I just moved here from Denver, and I'm like, dollar to dollar myself. I understand totally. Let me go get my manager. So he gets his manager, and he comes in, and he's like, ma'am, can you tell me your budget? Well, I don't want to say, right? So we keep going, and finally, I'm like, I have $300 and something cash on me, and that's all I have. And I mean, it's cash. I kept saying cash, like, you know, because they don't have to pay credit card fees or anything. So I'm like, cash. And the manager takes the paper. He's like, let me try, because they gave me like a $30 discount, and they took off the brake flush, because I don't know if you know that, but he told not only me but other customers while I was sitting there, you don't really need the brake flush. You can get by without that. So, okay. And that's $80. Okay. Anyway, outcome of the story is the manager gave me the manager discount and moved things around. And he's like, how about $343? And I was like, well, no, he was like, yeah, it was $343. And I said, well, okay, I have that cash. Just do the back. And I'm like, oh, thank God. So I got him down. I mean, the initial was $1,000. If you cut that in half per axle, that's $500 and something it was. And then, because it was $1,000 something, $500 and something, and I got him down to $343. So I feel good about that for me. And it felt good that I could fix that. You know, I don't want my brakes to seize, and I don't want all this other horror to happen. So I felt better. And so I said, okay, fine, do it. And I said, how long is it going to take? Because I'm supposed to be at work. And I said, a coworker can pick me up, but how long is it going to take? And he said, well, we got your parts in stock. It'll take an hour. I'm like, okay, well, that's not worth bothering my coworker to come get me and take. I'll sit here and wait. So I text her, you know, it's going to be an hour, and so you don't need to pick me up, and everything's, oh, they have car trouble. Oh, you poor babies. That sucks. He's right, like, in the right lane, but next to him is the on-ramp, so he's in a really bad spot. So I'm sitting there and I'm waiting the hour, right? And then, and that gentleman I was talking to, the guy finally comes back out, and he's like, sir, your rotor is bad. And he's like, what? Which I knew, because grinding. But it said, rotor's bad, da da da. It's going to cost $800 for yours. And the guy's like, looks at me. He's like, 800. I'm like, talk him down. He didn't want to talk him down, so he was just like, okay. So then all of a sudden in comes this young girl wearing these little shorts, this little half-see top, and she's all cute. And she comes in and, well, no, first the redheaded guy. The redheaded guy comes in and he walks up to the desk and they're like, how can I help you? And he goes, well, my brakes are grinding. I'm like, what the heck is going on with all these brakes grinding? So anyway, he did his whole thing, and I didn't hear the whole story. He did his whole thing. He left his car and he had somebody pick him up. And in comes this girl. Same freaking thing. Hi, sir, I'm here. My brakes are grinding, making this grinding noise. I'm like, oh my God. Me and the guy next to me were just looking at each other like, what? This is so weird. So he's like, okay. So then the customer, the male customer, he's like talking to the girl. And he's like, oh, I hope it's not going to be like what happened to this lady. But man, she talked him down from like $1,000, and then finally she's only paying like $340. She did really good, but yeah, it's gonna be a lot. It's those rotors, man. And the girl's like, oh no, I don't have $1,000, and the whole thing. So it's just like, what? So the mechanic comes out and he's telling her, okay, it's your rotors. It's the same thing, same story, right? Exact same story. And he's like, so for your car, your trunk and everything, it's going to be $800 and something. And she's like, I don't have $800 and something. So I can't do it. I just forget it. I'm going to have to just call my brothers and see if they can help me out or whatever. And he's like, well, all right. Let me go check something. So he goes back out and he comes in and he's like, he looks at me and he goes, this is so weird. I'm just like, what? And then he goes up to the girl and he says, you are in the exact same boat as that lady right there. And he points to me. And I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, ma'am, to the girl, he's like, your rotors are so bad. They are metal on metal. I don't feel safe with you driving that car. And he's like, it's horrible. And at first, like, if I had just been sitting here listening to all of that, I probably would have thought, is this like a scam or something? Or what? But anyway, it's a reputable place. It's a chain, and but anyway, they show you the damage on your car. I mean, I literally was watching out, because you sit in this waiting room, there's a big picture, glass window, and then you see right into the bay. So I watched them take my tire off, and that's all they did to it. And then they looked at it and everything, so they didn't like substitute anything or do anything wonky. And then they brought me right out to look at my car, and I could see that. I mean, there was no mistaking that those rotors were goners, the back ones, and then the front ones are messed up. So very clear. And even the gentleman that was in there, he's like, I know about cars and stuff, but I just can't do the back ones, because the newer cars have something electrical hooked up to your brakes, a lot of them. And so you have to do more than just the old-fashioned take the brake pads, tire off, brake pads off, replace them with whatever. It's more complicated. And later, the manager, when he was talking again, was saying something about they have to connect with this computer and tell it to undo this, and it's more extreme, the back ones. So he's like, I can't do the back ones, or otherwise I'd do it myself. So he knew, and when they showed him his truck, he's like, it's not a scam. But she was in the same shape as me, and she said, I knew it because I've been driving for days on that noise. I'm like, oh my God, girl. And she was too funny, because later she said, I wasn't worried about it. And then I had this dream last night that I was driving on the highway and it hit my brakes and my car wouldn't stop and I crashed. So I woke up in the morning going, that's it, girl. You got to get yourself into the brake place. And she gave her the brakes. Anyway, so they told her, and hers was, priced, and she was just like, I don't think I could do it. That's too much. And so he's like, let me relook at the, see what I can do for you. And so as soon as he walked away, I was like, girl, talk him down. Just keep saying you can't afford it, and see how low they'll go. But just keep saying you can't afford it, because it's true, you can't afford it. But she only did it like once, got them to drop the price a little bit, and then she went for it. I could have gotten it lower. But anyway, so she was in the same shape. And they told her, were her parts? Oh, they had to order her parts and have them come over. And so they're like, it's going to take a little longer, like 20 minutes or more longer, because we have to wait for them to come and bring the parts. And then that poor gentleman, they called him back out, and he's like, oh God, they're calling me back. It's like, if it's anything like yours, it's gonna be like $1,200 or something. So he went out with him, and he came back in, and he's like, $1,300. I'm like, what? I said, what's wrong? So, well, what can happen if you let your brakes get that bad is there's a thing called a caliper on there, and I'm not exactly sure what the caliper does. I think it does this. I don't know. But anyway, the caliper can freeze and get stuck. And he went out there with the mechanic, and the mechanic had like 2 wrenches, and he's trying to get, there was no way that sucker was going to work again. It was froze. So they had to replace the whole caliper on this dude's truck, and it was that much more money. I mean, it was a huge jump in expense. It went from like 800 something or whatever it was up to 13. And that was just his back axle or front axle, whatever one it was. But anyway, so he's just like, oh my God. And then they tell him, sir, we don't have any of that part in stock. We don't have the caliper in stock. So, but where we have to get yours from, it's out in this town. And like, I was in Dallas, closer to downtown, if you know Dallas area, and the parts had to come from Carrollton, so it was a ways away. So he's like, it's going to take a long time, it's going to take a couple hours, but what we're going to do for you, sir, is we'll call you an Uber or a Lyft or whatever it was, and we'll get you home, and then I'll call you when the truck is ready, and we'll get you a ride back again, and that's on us. So he's like, oh, okay. And so he's leaving. He's like, good luck with yours. I'm like, yeah, mine should be fine. Well, it's like going on in time. But it was okay because me and the girl were talking, and it was just, everyone that came in that day, except for the last customer, was grinding brakes. So do not let your brakes grind. One thing I learned, if you're old school like me, my dad taught me from when I was a little thing, not a little thing, but a little thing driving. When your brakes start squealing or squeaking, that means your brake pads are going down. That's a warning. And so get into the shop and get your brakes fixed. Okay, Dad was correct. But the newer cars, Dad is not correct on, because the newer cars have ceramic brake pads. And I was taught yesterday that they do not make noise. So there is no warning sound that your brakes are going to go. And if you get to the sound point of the grinding, you're in trouble. So I said, well, how do you know now? I mean, I just don't want to change my brakes every so many months or something, because it's a lot of money, and what if I don't need it? He said, well, I have 2 things for you. One is, if you see a black residue all over your tire, that's a sign that your brakes have gone down too much and you need to replace the brake pads. I'm like, I'm not sure about that one. The other one he said is get yourself, which I have to do it tomorrow actually, because I do not stay on a good schedule with this, and I admit it, oil change. So he's like, get on your oil change schedule, and then every time you get an oil change, make sure you do it someplace. He said not Walmart. He said he's seen a lot of cars in his shop because Walmart screws the oil pan back on with the electronic screw, you know, those like screwdriver thing, or wrenches, whatever they are. And he says a lot of time they'll make a crack or a hole in the oil pan and then, cause issues. So he's like, don't go to Walmart. I don't know. But I have an oil change guy I go to. So he said, when you get them out, make sure they check your brakes. And if they don't do that, then go to someplace like they do, where they'll do just a free brake exam for you. Just go do it every so often, because you don't want them to wear down. So, little lesson if you didn't know. I didn't know. So I learned all that. Got to talk to some really cool people. Got to learn all about the manager and how he's broken his ribs multiple times. I mean, we were just talking up a storm. Anyway, the time's going on and on and on. Finally, I'm looking out the window and I see that they're putting the rotors on my car, and then they just stop, and I don't see anybody anymore, and I'm like, what? So the guy walks in from the shop, and I said, what's going on? Aren't they going to finish my car? And he said, I got some bad news.
Take exit 8.
now what? And, you know, thinking, is this going to cost me? So, well, your car can have different rotors on it, even though it's the same make and model. And unfortunately, the rotors that we have in stock are not fitting on your car. They're not. They're too wide. I'm like, what the heck? He's like, we got to order the parts. I said, okay, well, help me here. How long is that going to take? Oh, 15 minutes. Okay, so 15 minutes, and then how much longer? Oh, not long after that, because it's all apart. Everything's ready to go. We just put them on and finish. Okay, cool. So, waiting. Now, get it, I've been there since 8:15 in the morning. All of a sudden, it seemed like, all of a sudden, it's 12:30. Okay, I've been here, like, half the day I haven't been at work. So, I see the rotors come in, which look like 2 pizza boxes. Kind of funny. I knew I was hungry when I saw that. But the rotors came in. I'm like, yes, and they look so pretty. And oh, okay. And I saw him measure them against the old one. Oh, looks like a perfect fit. Go on my car. Oh, perfect. He's putting them on. He's wrenching them on. Oh, thank gosh. So then I start talking again, and then the guy walks back in, and he's like, I got some bad news, ma'am. I'm like, oh my gosh, what now? He said, well, the rotors work. I said, did the rotors not fit? He's like, no, the rotors are perfect. I said, because I thought I saw him put them on. He's like, yeah, we got them on and everything. And then we went to put your brake pads on, and they're not the right brake pads. Take a deep breath, think positive. Think positive. It's a good thing I'm not going to kill him. But, so he said, oh my God, now how much longer? He says, well, when do you have to be at work? I'm thinking, what do you mean? It's 12:30, right? Anyway, I said, 8:30. He goes, oh my gosh, you mean this morning? I'm like, yeah. He goes, oh, I'm so sorry. So, you know what? Here's what I'm gonna do. He says, first, let me go check something. He comes right back and he goes, okay, order your brake pads. We're gonna pay for a lift. We're gonna get you to work. So we're gonna, you just stay there. We'll get the parts in. We'll get you a lift right back here again when the car is ready or whenever you're ready. And I'm going to throw in the $80 brake flush, which, whatever. I'd rather have had them cut that cost $80, but okay. You cannot do that, sweetheart. Yes, you're in my... Okay. If you could have seen in front of me. So there were 2 cars in this lane. Bumper to bumper, right? And the one in the front decides he's coming in my lane and cut me off. But then he decides, no, he's going to stay back in that lane and cuts that guy off again. And then finally he decides to come back in my lane and cut me off. And now he's over there. So yeah, that was fun. Anywho. So I was like, okay, whatever. So they live, you know, give me a ride to work. I finally get to work. I'm telling my coworker, oh my God, you gotta hear my story. And she's like, what the heck? Like, I know. And then she's like, you're carrying $360 around in your purse. I'm like, yeah, I know. I just, extra money, and I hadn't put it in the bank yet, and so it's going in the brakes. And then a little while later, they call me, and, you know, your car's ready. We're so sorry about the delay, the whole thing again. And I got a lift back to the brake place, got my car, and she's doing good. But I have just he said, another 2-3 weeks or a little more. You better get that front done before it starts grinding. So I got to prepare for that now and figure that out. I want to go to the same place, or can I find a better price, or can my dad find his mechanic? But my dad's in Florida, and this guy's like a little guy off somewhere that's just got a little shop, and, you know, it's not like a franchise, it's just his little shop. So, and then I'd have to sit there all day long while he's doing it. Do I want to? Whatever. I have some time. I'm going to get through this trauma. I'm going to go to that one. It wasn't a trauma, but handing over $300 in cash was kind of a trauma, but it was okay. So anyway, I had a great conversations today. Oh, and then the lady that comes and picks me up. Some people would have found this offensive and probably would have been upset with the ride, or maybe said something to her, but I didn't really care. But anyway, she pulls up, And as she's pulling up to my work, I can hear the radio. Like, boom, 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 you know, I'm like, okay, she's going to turn that down when I get in. No, she did. But, so I get in the car, and she's like, hi, how are you, and everything. And I'm looking around the car, and it's a smaller sedan. But in the back where we sit, you know, she's got, like, these positive sayings painted on the side of her car, you know, inside, on the actual interior door. I don't know what they looked painted. Maybe they were stickers. I don't know. But she had a whole bunch of just positive sayings all around. So I was like, oh, that's cool. And that's all the theme of what I'm trying to do today. Stay positive through this all. So it's kind of like someone else was sending me another signal of stay positive, you know. So it's kind of cool on the music. But the music was rap, and it was, she was African American, and so she was listening to rap, and it was saying the N-word a lot, so definitely didn't sing along with the music. But not my place. But yeah, when we were talking the whole way and everything, but it was just like this, I just thought it kind of strange. Like, you see this like older white lady standing on the curb, and you don't turn the radio down or nothing, which was okay with me, but somebody else might have been offended maybe, or I don't know. But I was just like, you go girl, you do your thing. But we talked really good, found out she had 3 kids, we talked about that, and it was nice. But and I enjoyed the music, but like I said, not a lot of people, well, of my age probably wouldn't have enjoyed that. I don't know, maybe I'm making a broad uninformed guess at that. I don't know. Let me know what you would have thought. But anyway, I was just like in the mood to just stay positive, stay smiling, find good things to say, enjoy anything pleasant for the day, and just get through it all. And I did. So I was proud. So I've done my shower. I got my brakes fixed on my car. Tomorrow I have to do oil change, and the expired inspection sticker, or whatever my sticker, state sticker, was up the end of August. So I do that, I'll feel more accomplished again. Yeah, it was cool. So I got through all that yesterday. Then today, I was again a doofus. And so I'm sound asleep. I sleep with a fan. I'm a pretty light sleeper. Like, if that fan goes off, I am like wide awake, like, whoa, awake, right? Like, what's going on? So 2 or 3 days ago, around the same time actually, it happened where the fan shuts off and I'm awake, like, what? And my electric was off, and then like seconds later, poof, it was on, and then everything was cool, and I kind of tried to go back to sleep kind of thing because the fan was on. This time, it's like 5 in the morning, and the fan goes off, and I'm like wide awake, right? Like, oh crud, electric's off. And then I'm laying there waiting, it's not coming back on. And then I look out my sliding glass doors, and I'm like, the outside light on the building is on. That's weird. The electric's off everywhere. That light should be, I'm like talking to myself, that light should be off. Okay. Oh crud. What if it's me? What if, oh my gosh, because a month or 2 ago, my card had some fraud on it. My debit card had some fraud on it. So my bank canceled it and gave me a new card. But I don't know if you're like me, but I have a bunch of bills that just, you know, do that auto pay, and it's on that card. Excuse me, I'm changing lanes. Okay. So I was like, oh my gosh, is that one of them I forgot to put my new card on? Is this my fault? So I'm looking up the electric thing, and they don't open till 8. So I'm like, what? So you can't even call them. I tried. You couldn't get the numbers. I'm trying to call them. And then I'm trying to go on online on my phone to see if there's another way for me to do it. I can't remember my password, so I can't get on. So finally I'm like, oh, it's too hot without my fan, which is a mental thing, not more than a temperature thing. But so I get out of bed, and I go use the bathroom, and then I go sit on my couch. I'm like, I'm just gonna sit and play games, so it's time to go, I guess, and then call them later when I get to work and find out what the heck's going on with my electric.
Continue on
And
I-30 east
then
for
I
3
thought,
miles.
okay, wait a minute. What if I get on my laptop? I probably have the password saved. Yeah, that's a great idea, sleepy doofus. So I'm sitting there, and then I get like, what's that noise? That's a weird noise. What is that noise? And I look, and on the table behind my couch is that Temu humidifier air freshener thing I got.
There's a stalled vehicle
Of
ahead.
course there's a stalled vehicle. So I have 3 miles to go, just over the bridge. And it's saying it's 8 minutes, and we're all at a dead stop almost. Okay, great. This is the hardest part of my drive, because I can see my house over there across the water, but I can't get there. I want one of those cars that you push the button, they turn into a boat, and then off I could go home. Yeah. Anyway, so, I'm like, that's my, how's my humidifier thing on and the light blue on top of it? Well, there's no electric. And then I'm thinking, oh, well, it's got a USB plug. Maybe it's running on like, maybe it's like charged or something. Okay, cool. So then I'm still trying to figure out, turn my laptop on and everything. And then I'm like, wow, there's that blinky light in my eye. Why is there a blinky light in my eye? Oh, that's the light on my TV and stuff, and it's blinking. Wait a minute. How is... I have to bring water in the car when I do these talks. I'm like, how is that light blinking when I don't have any electric? Like, what? This is so weird. And then I go in my kitchen, and my microwave is blinking, reset the clock. I go, that stuff can't do... Oh my God, I have electric. What an idiot. I had electric the whole time other than when it went off and back on. But, like, what the heck? But I'm like, why didn't my fan turn on? So it either, and my fan, I know, I don't know what's wrong with me. But, so my fan is plugged into a smart plug, and so I could say, Alexa, turn my fan on or turn my fan off. So I thought, oh yeah, maybe it did something to that. And so I pushed the button on that, and it still wouldn't turn on. And I thought, well, maybe it shorted that out. So then I plugged the fan in just into the extension cord, and it still wouldn't turn on. So I think it blew my fan for some reason, but that's a really old fan. So that's why I'm going to Walmart, because I have to have a fan to sleep. And so I ordered one for, you can go, sir. I ordered one for, he had like all his tires in my lane because they merge, but he was just stopped there like I was going to hit him or something. And his truck is like huge. It's weird. Okay, anyway, strange drivers. I encounter this so many times during my long drives. But yeah, so now I'm going to pick up my fan so I can sleep tonight. And they had it in blue. Oh, cool. It's going to match my room. I paid actually $3 more for the blue one. It's stupid, but I don't care. It will make me happy when I see it. That's worth $3. Well, yeah, man, did fans go up. I used to get them for like $10. It's just a box fan, And now it's like, what did I have to pay? $23? Like, what? And I had been thinking, I had seen one at Aldi, and I thought I should get one as a backup because my fan's really old. But of course I didn't do it. And then my fan said, you didn't buy that backup, guess what? I'm going to die. And yeah, teach you, lady. So yeah, I'm going to get my fan. So that's been my week. It has been a week. So yeah, I walked in my coworker's office this morning going, you gotta hear what a doofus I am. I'm like all stressing and sitting on the couch and worrying because I don't have electric. And the whole time I had electric, and there were signs of it. And even I said, this is even how like my brain wasn't working at that point in time. Because if you've been with me, I bought a phone charging cord from Temu that lights. It's got lights in it that keep like blinky, spinny lights, kind of like a barber pole. Anyway, And when I took my phone, when I was laying in bed, and I'm like, oh my gosh, why don't I have any electric? Oh, I gotta look up my electric and see if I got an email saying like the card didn't work or something. And it's plugged into that, and the red light is going. Didn't click in my brain whatsoever. Not whatsoever. That it can only do that because I have electric. So, oh my God, I'm losing it, man. I need this vacation so bad. I don't know if I'll make it the 2 weeks left. I'm going to try. And I'm going to try and stay positive. But your girl's a wackadoodle. So, I'm going to Walmart. Yeah. And while I'm there, I'll probably pick up. I like their, if you ever go in near the deli vegetable section, you know, up at normally in the front of the store. Sometimes it's in the back. Mine's in the back unless they did the remodel. I don't know if you noticed that either. Some of the Walmarts did like a remodel and they have a little section up front called Grab and Go. It's got like chips and drinks and stuff there. The one by my work, when I first found that, it had these wraps and different things in there that you could, because I looked all over the store, I'm like, why doesn't this store have my wraps? And they're just a little wrap, like chicken Caesar wrap, and it's just a little package with, you know, one sliced in half, you know, and I like, something's going on, and oh, they're having something. I know, that's 3 stories I'm now starting and stopping, but I just noticed my harbor, and some kind of event's going on, and I forget what that event is. I saw it last year when I was walking Bella. But they have like these little floaty things out in the water, and I think it's kind of like an obstacle swim course or something like that. And I see it out there, so I gotta check it out this weekend. I gotta start walking back to my harbor. Oh yeah, they're all out there. Unless it's for construction, maybe it. No, I don't know. I gotta go check it out. Anyway, I'll take you with me if I do it. When I do it. Okay, that was story 3. Back to story 2. Yeah, they had this grab and go section. They had the wraps or the just things like that if you just want to grab a meal and run and eat on the run. Okay. And now they've changed it at that store to only have like chips and drinks and different things, and then they moved the wraps over by the deli. So I don't know if you have that department, but so back to story 1. Finish 3, finish 2, back to 1. But yeah, I might get that for dinner because I don't really have anything ready. I haven't done shopping for next week, of course, since it's only Friday. So I might pick up a wrap and maybe their little salad thing, or maybe one of their little, I don't know if you've ever seen these. They come in like a little cup, and then there's a little circle on top of it. And the circle part, they separate, and the circle part has guacamole in it, and the bottom part has what they call I don't know what they are. They look like little tortilla rolls, but they're crunchy. There's just like, I don't know, 8 or 10 in there, and you dip those in little sticks in the guacamole, and it's really good. Or maybe some hummus and pretzels, or I'll grab something for my dinner, and I'll grab my fan, and then I will go home and relax after this wackadoodle week that I have had. So I hope you've had a better week. Actually, it's not, I mean, I can't say a bad week, you know. Yeah, I spent money I didn't really want to, but I'm saving my life. I'm making the brakes work. Stuff like that. I had the money to do it. Thank you, Lord. You know, I had that. So can't complain about that. I have a cruise coming up. My electric was on. I just was goofy about it. But knock on wood, no more floods this week. So I got a raise. Got a promotion. Yeah, not bad, right? Okay, stop complaining, big whiner. But I am goofy. So I told you a while ago that they're widening my highway. It's called I-30 in Texas, Dallas area. And now I'm seeing, so there's the highway, and right here it's 3 lanes. It's going to go down to 2. They're going to widen it to more. And then there's the frontage. I call it the frontage. I don't know what y'all call it, but that, you know, the lane that goes all down the highway. And then all the shopping. Now between the highway and that frontage road, They got it all torn up, man. All the dirt's gone. They've got cranes and stuff in there. I hope my exit still exists. They got that all ripped out, so this is all going to be changing soon. And just, it's going to be wonderful. Oh, but man, living through this is annoying. I am behind this truck with little Caterpillar trucks on it, and we are going 10 miles an hour on a highway that's 65, and I cannot get around him. I don't know what he's doing. He's going to get us smushed. Come on, Bubba. We got to go. And I don't want to cut. I never cut in front of semis. Don't be that person. I know how hard it is for semis to stop. This is ridiculous. He doesn't have his blinkers on. Doesn't have anything. He's just going. I mean, literally now it's 16 miles an hour on a 65 mile an hour highway. Yeah, not a good idea, right? So I want out of here. But luckily there's a ton of traffic in my lane behind me, so nobody's going to run up to me at 65, but I want out of here. Let me out. I just want to go to Walmart, which is right over there. My dad, when we first moved here, used to say, I can see it, but I can't get to it. Because he never knew where the exits were. Oh, now you're going to exit with me, too? So I got to just keep following you? Oh, you are fun, mister. He's got two of those little bobcats. That's what they are, little orange bobcats on the back. Cool. So, yeah, I can't complain about my life. I mean, I can complain, but I shouldn't complain. First world problems in the world, right? Oh, is this lane squishing? Why are you there? Oh, my God, the lane is squishing. This is unbelievable. Wow. I don't come this far normally. My exit's back there. But I gotta go to Walmart. Oh, there's Texas Roadhouse. I'd love a steak. Anyway, my cruise. Yay! My cruise is 2 weeks from today. So, I have to put together this weekend or next weekend. You know, I won't push it much past that, but I want to show you the items that I bought to use for traveling. I don't know if there's an exit because we're so much higher than the road and there is cement everywhere. Is the exit still there? Oh, it says it is. Okay. Wow, are they? I haven't been this way in a while. I'm always down there on the front edge or behind the shopping center going the back road. I don't use the highway here, but wow, is this under construction? I did not realize it had gotten this far. Dang. Like I said, it'll be nice eventually, but who knows when that'll be. But it's just hell between now and then. So much construction. Wow. It'll be nice when they finish it because they're widening it for quite a ways east of me. And that's the road going east that I have to take to go visit my son in Knoxville. So make a little bit of that ride a little better. Oh my, I cannot believe we are going this slow. This is just unbelievable. This little truck, and he's trying to get over, and everybody's like, you can get in front of me, buddy. Are you going to be nice, sir, Mr. Jeep? I think you shall be. But yeah, stuff like, remember I got that suitcase cover. I want to put that on my suitcase. I want to see if I can use the, if they work, the suitcase wheel covers. Remember they were extra rubber on the wheels. I have that. What else did I get for the trip? I can't even remember everything, but yeah, all that stuff I've been saying. I got this for my cruise, and I'll show you later. I'll be showing you soon, so that'll be fun. And then I always do a little video on little outfits whatever outfits I pick out for my cruise. You can kind of see that, or tell me if you think something else would look better or whatever. I'll show you how I pack my jewelry so that I know what I plan to wear with what. I've got that new makeup case from Temu. We'll see how that does with packing and, fits in luggage well or whatever. I'm trying to think what else I have. I'm going to bring my new selfie stick and tripod. We'll see if that works any better with filming, because I will bring you with on my cruise. Y'all come on. You see, you come on my drives, you're coming on my cruise, because I will film the whole time. Not the whole time. I'm not going to carry a GoPro around or something. That would be cool. cool, but I don't have one. But I will take you with me and show you parts of the ship and different things I do on there, and show you the ocean, which is my fave. And I like to take videos at night just so you guys can hear the beautiful sound of the waves at night. This is so relaxing. And then I'll show you the 2 stops. There's nothing great about the 2 stops, and I don't know if I'll have the money or want to spend the money on any excursions, or if I'm just going to stay on the ship and play trivia games or not. But you know, whatever. I'll bring you with me. I'll show you my cabin so you can see what cabins look like if you have not done that before. Show you, just all around, and take you with me on my trip. So please come back for all of that. That will be 2 weeks. So I have my hotel room, and I have, because I got a discount on a hotel room. That's what I picked. One of you was trying to help me out with a place to stay, but this one just was like kind of where I wanted to stay, and the price was so good that I was like, I'm going to do this. Of course, I did have to pay for parking, so I will check out your recommendation the next time I travel out of, out of Galveston, because I think that's a cool idea, especially if I've got more than just me going. So thank you for that, and I did not ignore it or anything. I just already kind of was thinking about this thing, and then I got the deal, and then was like, I can't refuse it. But yeah, I got my parking paid for and reserved with a shuttle to the ship, so that's cool, and I'm ready to go. So I'm gonna leave work and just head straight from work that Friday straight down to Galveston. So I'll talk to you a little bit on that trip, but I'm not gonna bore you for 4.5 hours. I don't think my throat could take the straight talking for 4.5 hours of the ride. But yeah, so I can't wait for that. And the reason I thought of that was I saw Texas Roadhouse. I don't believe it's Texas Roadhouse though. There's a steak place down there, one of the chains. And I'll normally get down there. My check-in's not till like 4. But that don't matter because I'm going to leave work, so it'll be later. It's not like normally I leave really early, but this is a Friday. So I normally will just splurge and get myself a steak, and I'll get it and take it back to my hotel if it's close enough, and just devour a steak, a nice steak. And that's what reminded me of it. So, because normally I don't go there or treat myself like that. All right, I'm at Walmart. I'm getting a fan. See Walmart back there? There it is. Now Walmart. I'm getting my fan, I'm getting my little dinner thing, and I'm getting my butt home. So I hope you had an amazing Friday, or will have, depending on where you live. If you're, I don't know, time zones. Right, Sweden? Okay, guys, I'll talk to you later. Love you. Thanks so much for watching. Hit the like button if you so desire. Share. What else am I supposed to say? Like, share, comment, and subscribe. All right, I did it. Did my business. Okay, see you later. Stay positive out there, y'all. Remember, if you do doofus things, you are not alone. I am right there in doofus world with you. So, see you later. Bye. Mwah.